show is not suitable for children, sensitive men, or insecure women. Can you trust somebody that doesn't take care of their kids?
I don't trust no man on earth that does not take care of their children.
What's the biggest red flag in a relationship?
Low effort and not being honest.
Most of the time, you would think that a bad financial mistake would be spending money on clothes or vacation or like spending money on women. My worst financial mistake was buying a home.
Like a king, give me my crown.
Game time. Game time. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir, Ski.
Hey.
We
Favorite
back.
day of the week. Yep.
We back. Blackout, man. No matter where we are in the world, blackout must continue. So, man, a lot to talk about. Obviously, I'm in China. If you're not aware, I'm currently in China right now doing some investigative journalism. So we can talk about that later on. My preliminary experiences. I'll be here all week, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're in China,
let's link and build. Remember when they used to say that? Let's link and build.
That's a fact, man. But damn, man, long ass flight. I'll tell you that much, man. Crazy as hell. It's crazy when you fly for 10 hours, wake up when you sleep on a plane for 10 hours, wake up and you see you got 5 hours left.
That's insane.
That's like going from New York to LA, like sleeping for 10 hours and you still got to go to New York from LA. Like,
yeah.
But, man,
it's worth it, though.
No, for sure. It's a blessing. So we got a lot to talk about. Do remember, shout out to Paul Judge. We had announced this on Market Mondays. The InvestFest pitch competition is open. This is for tech startup companies, tech-related companies, any company that has a tech component to it. You can go to investfest.com. You can apply. And if you win, you're going to get $125,000. Very important, very easy. All you got to do is have an InvestFest ticket and apply. It's pretty straightforward. Paul's team is going to go through all of the applications, every single one. Going to pick 30. It's going to contact the 30, have follow-up calls, have an in-depth conversation. And then from there, we're going to pick 5 that we'll have on stage at InvestFest. So, man, I don't know why you don't take advantage of this one. This is big. So go to investfest.com, and then vendor booths and regular tickets and VIP tickets is available. We announced the lineup. We got Magic Johnson, we got Jack Dorsey, we got Ian, we got 19 Keys, we got Fawn Weaver, we got so many great people. Paul Judge, 2 Chainz, Charlamagne the God, Issa Rae.
Yep.
Legendary. So go to investfest.com, get your tickets. Don't be late. Don't hesitate. This is going to be one of the ones, man. Ian, any announcements?
Come get informed by the icons. Go to investfest.com. Go listen to the recent episode of Market Mondays with Paul Judge. He put on a masterclass. For those of you who are preparing to be in a pitch competition, you probably should go to ChatGPT 04 Mini and ask ChatGPT what you can do to win the competition. Let the AI help aid you through it. Also, if you want to get rich from the market, go to ianinvest.com. If you want to just pop up randomly with Rashad in China and have the money to do so and not think about it, go to ianinvest.com. Stock Club call will resume next week. Stock Club prices are out. I love y'all so much. If I made you money, please put yes in chat. But if you never want to have to know where to get in, where to get out, which companies to invest in, which ones to stay away from, or hear my insights that are usually a year or 6 months ahead of the news, go to ianinvest.com and join Stock Club.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get into it. It's a lot to talk about. Of course, we're gonna talk about. Man, I'm out of the country right now, but I'm looking to see what's going on in LA.
It's a
National Guard being deployed and ICE. That's a big thing. So we're gonna talk about that, but let's save that for a little bit later. But first, being that we had Ace Metaphor on last week.
Yes. Shout out to the brother.
It was crazy. Shout out to Ace because as I said, I wasn't 100% familiar with everything. Like I know the show, but I haven't watched it. I haven't gone to an event. So some of the comments they were like, "Yo, I'm sure he's gonna be simping for women." I was confused because I didn't really know where that energy was coming from.
Yep.
Then I saw a clip. Made it all make
Shout
sense.
to Ace.
It made it all make sense, man. Let's play this. Let's play this, shall we?
You were not placed on this earth to chase no man. Cut that man off. You are better than a man that doesn't recognize your value. You are better than a man you have to spam text because he don't respond. You are better than a man you got to give access to your body just to get his time. You are better than a man that you always feel like you're not good enough for. That you are Barbara the Builder or as simple him Ashley. You are better than that. Say it with me. I'm better than texting a man back to back to back to back. I'm better than picking up a man's phone call in 2 seconds when it took him 2 days to call you back. I am better than getting a babysitter, my nails done, my Brazilian, my hair and everything for a man that just want to Netflix and chill. You are better than that. Start acting like it. You were placed on this earth to do a lot of things. But one of those things wasn't chasing no man. If you are a prize, act like it, date like it, and stop giving time to men that expect you to chase them. When the last time you seen a queen running down with her heels on after a man? Not never. So stop doing that shit.
Okay. So
Okay.
shout out to Ace, man. I'm gonna be honest with you.
You gave me the chills, yo. Hold on.
It was cringe worthy to watch. And I like Ace. I think he's a
Shout out
great
to Ace.
entrepreneur, and he's obviously very intelligent. It was cringe worthy to watch.
Why is that? Let's just have a dialogue. Let's have a nice dialogue. Where does something come from?
I think it was done for content. No disrespect, but I think that it was done for content purpose. It seemed like it was overkill.
Yeah, a little bit theatrical, but what if he means what he's saying, but just putting a little pizzazz on top of it for the audience? Because it's two polar opposites. You have that approach, and then you have the approach of the woman should love you 3 times more, which has been quite the conversation for many of us.
It's a nice conversation. Okay. How do you feel about that?
I still want to know your opinion. It's too much. Okay, I'm gonna go with you. It's too much. Like I like it. Shout out to tonight's conversation. Shout out to Trill. Shout out to Trip Fontaine. All y'all. It's a little bit too much. What do you think simping is rooted in? Because clearly he has ability to be able to get women. He told a story about the love of his life, and like, what do you think that mindset comes from?
I think that he found a niche.
Fuck it, I get in trouble.
It's you're going to go viral if this is all right. So this is some game for content.
It's a hack.
If you want to go viral, create very polarizing content.
Yep.
Either political or relationship or even finance, right? Like,
yep.
All right. So if we were to say, put every dollar that you have into Nvidia and anything else, you're going to lose money. It's a bad investment. That's polarizing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to have strong views on each side because people that made money with Nvidia, they're gonna be like, I mean, why you like? Finally, somebody said it, and then other people can be like, that's not responsible. That's irresponsible. Da, 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 da. It's polarizing, right? It's a polarizing take. So, what in this conversation when it comes to like men and women, right? It's I've noticed like if you take strong views on one side, then you're going to have a lot of people that agree with you and a lot of people that disagree with you. But it makes it go viral because how algorithms work is based off of comments, shares, and likes, right?
Yeah.
So if it's controversial, a lot of people is going to comment on it, positive, negative. They're going to start arguing with each other, and that's a hack. And then they're going to share it, right? Because they're going to send it to their friends like, yo, they either going to send it to their friends like, you seen this wild shit? Or they're going to send it to their friends like, see, I told you, finally somebody agrees with me. Either way, it's viral, right? So I understand when I see something like that, I understand the play.
The game inside of it.
I understand it. But do I agree with it? I mean, on an elementary level, of course, nobody should, be stalking somebody or waiting night and day for somebody's corner. Of course not. Nobody should do that. But there's also
what's the time frame before you should cut it off, though?
Well, there's a balance because you have to understand when it's a situation that's situational.
Hold on, you preaching? Hold on now. Y'all pass the collection plate around.
It's a situation.
Wait. Okay.
Because it's like, all right, I'm in China currently, right? I'm in the next day. I'm 12 hours ahead. So I don't have the luxury of responding right away. You text me at 2 o'clock in the afternoon in New York. It's 2 o'clock in the morning in China.
Yeah.
It may take 12 hours for me to respond. As a mature person, and that's at bare minimum 12 hours. Let alone me running around, me doing this, meeting manufacturers. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you gotta get back to it a day later, right?
Now you situations or not relationship, right?
Huh?
So, you mean for the situation, for the vibes?
Everything is a relationship.
Wait. Oh,
you're in a relationship. You're in a relationship with everybody. Right? It's different levels of relationship. It's different levels
different
of
tiers for sure.
For sure. Right? But if you meet somebody and you're talking, you have a relationship with that person. Me and you have a relationship. I have a relationship with you, right? Like the word relationship means a working
mutual
and communication. So if you meet a girl or a young lady and you have, you speak to her 3 times, you have a relationship with her.
Yeah.
It may not be a solely committed relationship.
Got you.
It may not be a marriage. It may not be a, we're going to spend the rest of our life together, but we're in a relationship.
Yeah. Hey, I know y'all be doing the iHeartMedia Awards and Joe, y'all doing Powder of the Month. Hey, Corey, send the award to Rashad this month. That's a bar. Fellas, we all in a relationship. Woo, boy.
But salute to Ace. Like I said, I respect the hustle. And I see what you're doing.
Yep.
But I just think.
And it's working. That's the other part of the simping part that y'all be talking about. He may not like that criticism, but them checks for that audience, for who he's targeting. Oh my God. Shout out to the mastermind, the RZA of the Red Pill Society over there, boy. I see what you're doing. I ain't even mad at it. Derek Jackson walks so you can fly. Shout out to Ace. I ain't even mad at you, yo. So yeah. Is emotional closure bullshit, or is that like people excuse to like hold on longer than they should? Because I'm sure you've had a woman be like, "Oh, then closure. Let's meet one more time at Brooklyn Chop House. Let's go on vacation. Rekindle." It's like, girl, it's over.
Yeah, emotional closure is dangerous. Emotional closure is dangerous.
Yeah,
because you just prolonging the inevitable.
For sure,
it's closed. Like it's closed.
They may want to open up one more time.
Stores closed.
That's what that really be about, for the record.
Oh yeah. Respect to everybody, but yeah. What does that actually? I mean, unless you have some questions that you need to get answered. But do you really
even
want
in the interaction though? The question is answered though. Like, If a person isn't doing what you want them to do without having to ask them to do it, they don't want you. There's your answer. I'm sorry. We got to deliver hard truth. This is the other side of simping, not simping. Just hard truths, right? If a person isn't doing what you want them to do without you having to remind them they don't want you, maybe you got to invest in yourself and then eventually end things on a clean slate and find somebody else who will do it. Life can be simpler if we let it be. Yeah. It doesn't mean to be toxic and, have 100 women or 100 men or wherever you sway, but it's not that common. If a person's not doing some shit you don't want them to do, they don't want to do it. Let it go. Find somebody else who will. And then they're going to spin back. I'm like, oh, I should have treated you better. It's a wrap. Call it a day.
I think you better let it go.
For real.
All right. Mike Beasley. Salute to Mike. He had a big weekend. He beat Lance Stevenson in that one-on-one. Shout out to Lance too, man. I didn't see it, but I saw the highlights. It looked like a hell of a event. So congratulations to both of those gentlemen. I actually picked Mike Beasley to win.
I did
beforehand, but on the top on after he won, of course, a lot of stuff that he's done previously is starting to go viral. So this is one clip that he had, and he talked about a lot of things that people might stay away from when having conversations as far as being vulnerable. But let's talk about let's show this clip.
You guys have money. You guys play in the NBA.
Yeah, like what?
Wait,
got NBA contracts.
How much money y'all got? Be honest.
Yo, come on.
Is that weird? Yeah, we don't.
Over under
Real shit.
Real shit.
All my kids and their moms.
Yeah.
And my current girlfriend, they all got the money. I got probably $2 in my bank account.
What? Same.
Okay. Mike is somebody that I actually went to school with.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I went to school with 1 year. We went to IMG Academy, so I knew Mike when he was in 8th grade.
Got you.
And he was always a special talent, and he was also always a special person as far as marched to the drum of his own beat. He wasn't a person that really followed orders or anything like that. And I saw another clip on Pivot when he talked about how his mom stole from him.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking. Yeah, listen, we don't talk enough about how hard it is to be the one. Some may relate to this, but to be the one that's made it, that broke the generational curse and all the pressure that comes with it. Mark Lamont Hill talked about it, I think 2 weeks ago on Joe's podcast about, and I commend him for saying it, like, he was like, I'm depressed. All these people I'm helping, got a brother in jail that I help. We don't talk about that enough, how much time, effort, energy, money is given, and we end up pouring out of an empty cup to help others that believed in us.
Yeah, it's like Big said, more money, more problems, right? Like
facts.
That's the other side of success. This is a financial conversation because you gotta protect yourself, but it's hard to protect yourself from people that you actually love, right? And like if you find your mom is stealing money, what do you do? Like that was like that. I found that clip interesting when he talked about like his mom stealing, because he said like, okay, I'm faced with two dilemmas. I can act like I don't know what's going on, right? And keep my family, or I can cut everybody off and lose my family. Like that's
Michael
a tough,
Jones,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like
that's a tough,
like you're gonna cut your mom off, like, you know what I'm saying? So, and then for his wives, multiple, like it must have happened a few different times. It's a tough situation.
This is the financial
man.
trap that you have to look out for as a man who is doing well. The girls who get together, who one is going to be the girlfriend, and then the other one's going to set you up to be the side, and then take you to court, and they split the money up together. There, at every level, there's traps. Like, so, this is not talked about frequently, and people be like, okay, it's only black men who go through it. No, Elon going through it too with the little baby mama issues that he's having. There are traps at every level set there for you, from advisors, investment groups. Zaire even told me a story of some of the teammates were running financial scams on each other in the NFL. Think about how crazy that is for you to be invested in something and then your teammate, your old lineman, put you in a scam. Like, you have to protect yourself at all times. And this is why we keep having these conversations on Blackout, because most of the wealth that gets drained from people comes through divorce law or child support, depending on what state you're in. But you got to factor in the family and friends who may also find a way to get some of that money off of you as well.
So how do you avoid this?
Be broke. I'm gonna be real.
There's no way around it.
There's no way. Like, listen, I get request like this week. Shout out to Ty. Ty sent me one from somebody that we all mutually know. Just the request be crazy. Like, and my new thing is, don't request anything from me that my mom, dad, and kid has not. There are no small, like, there are no $300 requests. They all big requests. I'm like, we're not even that cool. You don't even know my middle name, and my middle name's online. What I'm gonna just give you $26,000 for because what? Oh, I hear you. There's no way around it. You have to learn how to say no and play broke. So going back to the what should I spend money on this year thing, a part of the not spending is so I can play broke. Yo, you got it. Mike, I got on the Fitbit. Nope, I don't got it. It's all an illusion. I don't have it.
I think also another thing that you can potentially do is make sure you guard yourself. Right.
Sure.
Like I heard Jay said before, like, it was like people ask you for money. He was like, I'm paraphrasing, but there's guardrails to even get to me. So pretty much he was saying,
Smart.
like, his sister is like the buffer, even for family, right? His sister's the buffer. So if you want to contact Jay, even if you're related to him, you got to contact his sister.
That's brilliant.
And he was like, his sister will filter the shit to see if it's something that's real or if it's something that, so it doesn't even, 90% of the shit don't even reach his desk.
That's fire. Call my mom and dad. Easy. Thank you. Tip of the week. Shout to Richard. Go get your tickets to InvestFest. You're gonna have to learn these, because especially if you're dealing with financial trauma, and I've said this before, you can give your way into poverty by being too nice to family and friends. I've seen it done. I've seen somebody go through $400,000 or $500,000 in 1 year giving, and everyone says, "I'll never do it," until you get that money. How do you tell somebody no that has helped you your whole life? It's tough to do so, and people will play on those financial traumas too. So, but prayers to Mike and my guy Mark Lamont. It's a lot that us as creators and entrepreneurs go through, though, on that ascension up the mountain, and that's why you see a lot of people get real reclusive. Yep,
That's a fact. That's a fact. All right, let's talk about this ICE situation. Man, it's a lot going on.
it's a lot going on, man.
First and foremost, prayers and safety to everybody in California. Like I said, I'm watching it from Instagram, so you never really know what's real, what's not. How, it's kind of difficult, but it looks bad. I'll tell you that much. It looks bad, and it's crazy. Like, they just had it. So they just had the BET Awards at the same time. So it's like, it's a tale of two Americas, right? Where it's like in Hollywood, everybody, all the stars is out, whatever. And then like a few miles down the road, downtown LA, it looked like a war zone going on. So
Yeah,
depending on your algorithm, you might not even be aware of what's going on. But if you're not aware of what's going on, I'm not sure exactly what day it started, but I guess just mass protesters took the streets, shut down highways. Then they started, like, hitting ICE cars with rocks. President Trump called 2,000 National Guard in. Then I heard he called some Marines in.
Yep.
He called for Gavin Newsom to be arrested. It's getting crazy. And this is all because of Donald Trump's mass deportation agenda. And it's crazy because I saw the ICE, Latino for Trump. I think she was like the organizers for Latinos for Trump. She's based in Miami. She said, "Oh, this is not what we voted for. This is
yes, it is. To all the Latinos who vote for Trump and the light-skinned Cubans, what did you expect? This happens, especially with him. Shout out to the two of y'all that worked in the Trump organization and he treated y'all well. Salute y'all. For everybody else, though, yes, this is. And this is the part. He told you exactly what he was going to do. If you black, you knew. If you were Latin, you knew. If you were poor, you knew. No, you can't say you were confused about this one.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it's one of these things of like, you think you're better than somebody else until you get reminded that you're not.
Yep.
You're like, oh, no, this isn't for me. This is for the Mexicans. No, it's for you too. Like, you know what I mean? This isn't for me. This is for these group of people. Nah, it's for you too. And yeah, very ignorant of her to say that she is shocked and surprised by this because he did exactly what he said he's going to do. One thing about Trump, you got to give him credit. He's sticking to his word.
With the exception of him claiming Project 2025, everything else, he told you up front, this is my campaign. This is what I'm running.
He ran on an agenda on mass deportations on day one. And that's what he's doing. And it's one of these things, right, where sometimes in life you push your hand too far because you think you have more support than you really have. Fine. They was deporting a lot of people, shut down the border crossings, but you're going too far. You're going into kids' graduations. And you're going into nightclubs,
daycares.
You arresting Kobby Lane. Kobby Lane doesn't even talk.
That's crazy.
Yo, like the number one most followed person on TikTok, and then the dude made a whole thing about it. Like, yeah, far leftist social media. I'm like, he does not talk. He doesn't speak.
Yep. He doesn't.
But
speak.
that's what I'm saying. Like, y'all, you push this thing too far, and now you're gonna have to make. It's gonna hurt you when you go too far in life. It hurts you, and they took this agenda too far. And now they're seeing the backlash of it.
And it's not enough focus on even on the construction sites when people are being rounded up. But there are very little fines for the HR and the companies that are hiring the people to actually be on the site. It's like, well, they're here illegally, but I'm like, who the fuck is hiring all these people? And why don't they have any fines? But once again, everyone who voted for Trump, if you are black or brown, or that net worth is under 25 million and you don't have no direct relationship, you're getting exactly what he told you he was going to do. There's no confusion about it.
And these people are so ignorant that they're willing to sink their own ship just out of pride. Because it's like, I said this before, we need illegal immigrants.
Yep.
Hot take, right?
That's
like,
true.
take it. You can do whatever you want with that information. We need our economy. Take away the moral clause, take away what's right, what's wrong. Let's just look at this from a pure, rational, economic standpoint. Our country needs illegal immigrants.
While it's hanging on by a thread. That's the other part that isn't. The tax revenue is needed. The jobs.
Exactly. That people don't understand. They're still paying taxes. They're working these jobs. They're helping the economy. They're moving things forward. We talked about agriculture. We talked about construction. We talked about restaurants and hospitality.
For sure.
I don't understand. Like, 90% of the people that's pushing this agenda are immigrants themselves, second generation.
Yep.
Chancellor of
Elon
Germany Chancellor Donald Trump included. Chancellor of Germany showed Donald Trump's grandfather's birth certificate in Germany. Gave it to him.
What?
You didn't see that?
No, I did not.
At the White House. At the White House.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, come on, man. First of all, you on stolen land.
Yes.
Second of all, you yourself just came either this recently or 2 generations ago. You haven't been here for 400 years. We have, but the people that's pushing this agenda, they haven't.
No.
You yourself just got here. So it's just crazy how, like, there's a lot of audacity in that, where it's like you letting white immigrants from South Africa come as refugees.
Mm-hmm. And we let one just run the White House.
You ban in 12 countries. 80% of them is in Africa.
Yep.
To come. Then you kicking little kids out. You running in people's houses with plain clothes, baseball hats and t-shirts, not even identifying yourself.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
And Newsom's career was damn near dead. Y'all arrest him. You're gonna wake the career up. I know they're trying to AOC Bernie, but y'all arrest Newsom. He is going to be a Democratic martyr, and you're going to raise that Q score. Things are going to swing. That pendulum is going to swing back. Please be careful. Please be very careful. But prayers to everybody out in LA. Be careful out there. And if you're out there protesting, I'm telling you this out of love, because I've had some people in the military reach out to me who are on both sides. Some of you, they're going to try and put terrorism charges on you. So be careful while protesting. The game is not fair. They do not care. And there's no more simulation. White supremacy doesn't want a simulation. And please be careful.
And I think 19 Keys had put an interesting post up. I don't know if you saw it, but he put a post up. Let me. I want to make sure I quote it correctly.
Okay.
Salute the Keys. Make sure you get the super mushroom coffee.
Big facts.
He said,
a good time in New York.
He said, when others are being oppressed, there's no such thing as minding your business. You're just waiting your turn, because oppressors never stop oppressing. And I thought that was interesting, because there's a theme online where it's like, yo, it's not our fight. Don't stay out of it. And that's been a common theme for a variety of different things. Even in Gaza, a lot of people was just like, yo,
for sure,
if it don't directly affect us, stay out of it. And okay, from a just pure rational standpoint, I can understand where you might be coming from with that. But I think some things are just bigger than just, like, you still have to be a person at the end of the day. Like, I'm not really just only focused on things that directly affect me. Like, if I see a little girl getting arrested, that affects my humanity.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't affect your humanity, then you should question yourself, because you can look at it from a standpoint of like, well, who's helping us? And I believe in that for sure. And you should focus on yourself first. That self-preservation is the number one rule in life.
Yep.
But ultimately, if you're not championing people that can't help themselves, like I said, you see a little girl, you see an elderly woman, you see somebody like in a wheelchair. If you don't have any empathy in that, that's nothing to celebrate. That means that you're detached from humanity. And like he said, you're just gonna be next. It's not like, okay, we're gonna wait this out. You can't do a good deal with a bad person. I keep saying that. So you keep saying, okay, well, this doesn't affect us. We're gonna focus on reparations. You think that these people are gonna give you reparations after they running in 5-year-old, 5-year-olds graduations? Now they doing all of this, and then they're gonna come to the table and say, okay, we kicked everybody out. Now let's have a conversation. You're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah. If he kicked out the person who helped him win the election, what fucking chance do we have to get anything that's just? That boy put up regardless of what you think about him, he put up 288, and the day that he got involved, swung the polls. He sent Elon packing. No, I know some people, I not get it, because every community doesn't back us in our fights. But the same thing I brought up with that one company. If they surveil other black and brown people in other parts of the world, at some point it's going to surveil us. For the first time in history, I had a bunch of white people hit me like, yo, I'm worried about the technology as well. As a citizen of the United States, you got to be careful, because once you are able to get one atrocity off, it's easy to go do it to another group while we're infighting like fucking crazy on top of that too. So be careful.
All right.
Yep.
Let's talk about Let's talk about my experience in China so far.
Yeah,
I'll
let's talk
give a
about it.
full breakdown. I'll give a full breakdown on Market Mondays because at that time I'll be here for a week already. But I've been here for a day, and it's
Okay.
interesting.
Well, what's
It's
interesting about it?
interesting.
Because I'm curious.
Okay. First thing that I noticed is that nobody speaks loud publicly. Nobody. It's almost like Truman Show, where it's not in a bad way, but it's like everybody's. You get used to America normalizes things to you. So
Yeah,
when you land in JFK, you hear everybody screaming, they running the cab drivers, somebody arguing with their baby moms on the phone,
a
beeping the
lot of
horn.
noise
Get the
pollution.
fuck out of here! What are you doing? Like,
Yeah,
yo, I landed. Like at first, I thought because I landed early in the morning, so I'm like, maybe it's just early in the morning. But then throughout the course of the day, I noticed nobody's like yelling, nobody is speaking loud, very low temper. Another thing I noticed is nobody's in a rush to go anywhere.
right.
It's in the middle of the week and everybody's just walking and they're just taking their time and they're just patient. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, once again, you gotta remember, I used to work in Manhattan for 10 years. So
Yeah,
I was taking the subway 3 times a week, rush hour traffic, people bumping, like get out of my way, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you used to that frenzy, but I'm just like, yo, everybody's just chilling, nobody's doing that. Another thing that I noticed, man, I was talking to, this is a Market Mondays conversation. I was talking to the young lady that was driving me. She's from China.
mm-hmm.
There's 20 electric vehicle companies in China. And I was asking her, I was in one car. I'm like, what is this? She named, I forgot the name of it. It had 3D monitor screen.
Mm.
The seats, it was like a van, seats, massage seats. It looked like a Maybach Sprinter, a company I never heard of. She said there's 20 different Chinese electric vehicle companies. 20. She said BYD is the biggest, but she was like, no, there's 20. There's 20 different ones. I'm like, damn, that's crazy as hell. I also noticed that they told me like there's grocery stores in every mall.
Mm-hmm. That's
Um,
unique.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Huge African population here.
Really?
Well, I'm in Fushuang, so this is the manufacturing capital of the world when it comes to like home goods and all that. So they was like the Africans set up 300,000 Africans, and they set up shop because they doing business back and forth. They sending material back and forth to Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, I walk into the showroom, black art all over the place.
Mm.
Black
Interesting.
portraits,
Okay.
black art. And very interesting.
Tell me more.
Not,
What
not necessarily what you would have expected, what you've been programmed. Propaganda is a real thing. Like I said, I'm gonna have a full report after a week, but you kind of get a gauge of things after a day. Man,
yeah,
it's been very interesting, bro. Like
you had a great time so far.
No, having a good time for sure. The technology, everybody's just very polite. Like I said, it's one of these things, and it's cheap. Like the girl was telling me how much she paid for rent, and she said 2,000 for rent, 2,000 for a 1 bedroom, 2,000 their money, which is yen, the Chinese yen.
Yeah.
So I did the conversion. It's $175.
Wait, what in the city you're in now, or
Yes, 175 cash, bro.
this is the problem with printing money, shipping manufacturing to other countries, because then now the value of the dollar goes down, and now you have to wipe away the middle class to offset these losses. It sucks, man. Like we built other countries up to tear ours down, and then we get told our country is the greatest on earth, and it has not been that for a long time.
And you got to have a conversation about forced inflation. Inflation is one thing, but how much of it is forced inflation based off of capitalism, greedy capitalism? Because
Majority.
if they could have $200 rent and extremely efficient society, there's no trash, clean. Obviously, everybody knows, China highways, everything. It looks like how you think it would look.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, what the hell? So then I started thinking like, okay, well, I saw a closet, and the closet was $16,000, and they said my interior designer said that same closet in America is $85,000. So I'm
Wait, what
like,
kind of closet is this for 85,000? Like mermaids come out of it? Like,
yo, these closets cost a lot of money. These closet room, like when I say a closet, like a whole entire room
oh, okay, got you. Okay,
with the island, with the
got you,
code, all the whole thing, right?
got
So
you.
I'm just like, yo, it's just really, really interesting as far as like we talking about the price of cars, right? Like they can't allow these cars to come into America because it would crash the automotive industry.
Mm. Yeah,
Because
because
if you
some of
could
the
buy,
BYD cars are like what 28,000, something like that. US.
yeah, like, and that's what, keep in mind, that's what taxes added on top of it,
Yes. Yeah.
right? So, man, like I said, we'll have a full breakdown on Market Mondays, but so far it's been pretty interesting, pretty eye opening, and on a certain level, pretty alarming. Because she was like, I told her how much like average rent in America is, and she was like, her question was to me was, she's never been to America. She said, well, how do regular people pay that? How do they survive? I'm like, that's the thing. And now it all makes sense. Now I understand why people are walking with no care in the world. Now I understand at 12 o'clock everything shuts down for mandatory lunch, and then from 1 to 2 everybody takes a nap.
Nap
I
King Cole
understand.
told you.
I understand why you can be stress free on a certain level, right? Because you paying $200 for rent, you paying $2,500 for one bedroom, and you only making $5,000 a month. You're gonna be stressed out
For sure. Yeah, that debt to income is high. Oh, corrections, Chinese yuan, Japanese yen, just for investigative and
Chinese yuan.
journalistic and
Yes.
integrity.
Yes.
/6J for those you trade the Japanese yen on Thinkorswim or Schwab. Love y'all. But this is done by design. Like you can ruin a society. Going back to Confessions of the Economic Hitman, all the sanctions that we used to put out on other countries have somehow made their way back to us. I don't understand. And this is like coming from a person who is okay. Everything costs too much now. Like you, $85,000 for a closet, $160,000 in 2000 was the price for a good home. Like think about that. Like when I graduated high school in 2000, if you got a $200,000 or $300,000 house, you were great. So, but that's why I keep telling you guys, you have to have an international exit plan. You must have an international. Presidente Scheinbaum, I need to see you next week when I go back home because it is getting tricky in the United States of America for sure.
Tricky hours are upon us. Let's talk
Can I
about
ask you a question
our friend.
real quick? Go ahead.
Yes.
Can we send some love to our guy Timbaland, who's been on blackout?
Well,
Why is it? Go ahead.
About to say, that's actually where I was going. I was about to say our friend Timbaland. I was just about to say that. Friend of the show.
Yep.
He came on Market Monday. Man, he's done stuff with us. Timbaland, good. Timbaland, somebody that I actually can reach out to personally. Like, you know what I mean? And like he'll hit me back. So that's rare. A lot of people will give you their assistance number. They'll give you their, Timbaland, solid dude. Like
for sure.
Super solid. Down to earth. Regular person. He's in some hot water.
I don't like this, yo.
He's in some hot water.
Even if we didn't know Tim, I wouldn't like this. Come on.
Can we give context of what people might not be aware? So if you're not aware, Timbaland's been going live with independent artists for about maybe a year and a half, 2 years now. Every week he goes live, and I think the whole grand finale was he was trying to find the dopest new artist, independent, sign them and work with them. And he made his announcement of the artist that he signed last week.
Hello.
And it was an AI artist.
The smart fucking move. We passed the curse and ban restriction, right? Smart fucking move. Go ahead.
a lot of people was mad. They said that, oh, they're like, oh, you took all of the independent artists' data and vocals and then combined it to make a AI artist, and you played in our faces, and you why would you go against humans for robots, and how could you do this, and like this is a disgrace for your legacy. They went crazy.
Yep.
How you feel about this?
That's selective outrage. So I'm a shout out to Tim. I love you. I have no business dealings with Tim. Even if I didn't know Tim, I would say this. Well, auto-tune most of y'all AI anyway. Well, all of y'all sounding the same and looking alike. Now, shout to Guru. Love you dearly. Appreciate you. Icon legend. In terms of taking the humanity away, for those of you who don't know, the music business is my business. Always has been. So for all of you that are in 360 contracts, you've been getting screwed on your royalties, getting screwed on your masters, getting screwed on your publishing. They are cross-collateralizing your IP with other IP. What's the complaint? The other part is Tim doesn't need to take nobody vocals. You can buy vocals and singers' rights for little or nothing. You can go on, what was that, beatstars.net? He can go on beatstars.net, download all the little packs, upload them shits, reanimate them. And if you think Tim's the only one doing this, you're crazy. Y'all won't say this to Warner. This part of oh boy's little fight he having with Universal. 2, that likeness of other components being used of his brand and being licensed out to other people. I get it, the humanity part, but the music business has never been a humane business to begin with. Y'all won't say shit to Daniel. I think Spotify and teaming up with the big 3 has done way more harm than Timbaland taking an AR artist and trying to make her or she or they pop, which may not even get off. So I get the complaint, but the other part is you are trying to pour into a dying industry and to an industry that does not give a fuck about you. Yeah, I can name maybe 2 labels and maybe 9 executives that really care about artists. The rest of them don't give a damn. And then when Russell or Russ tell y'all what to do, or Toby tell y'all what to do, y'all don't want to go the independent route. For those of you who don't know, when they go in that catalog book of hits that can be sampled, that are always hits, that's taking the humanity out of it. So when all the artists look alike, sound alike, same auto-tune, damn the same production, damn the y'all let Ed Sheeran came in and write some fucking Afro beats hits. Don't talk to me about no humanity, yo. Sorry. I'm sorry. No. And y'all don't even care about the music like that. But what do I know? I ain't in the music business. But shout to Interscope, shout to Def Jam. These are my thoughts. My thoughts only. Shout to Rock Nation, shout to Def Jam, Interscope. But the jig is up is on me. Y'all let all the tech titans come in and fuck up y'all business. Y'all didn't say shit to Steve Jobs when he broke down your singles for 99 cents. Y'all played right into the hands of Sean Parker when he doubled back and helped Daniel at Spotify. What are we talking about? But okay, I hear you. Go on YouTube and go Google another Mike Will Kendrick sounding beat. Say something to the label. Shout out to Tim though. And when Calvin Harris go do it, y'all ain't gonna say a fucking word. Not a word. These are my thoughts only. So when y'all come to Invest Fest, don't say nothing to Trevor Rashad about it. These are my thoughts. All y'all want to put on Chrome Hearts like Drake and then talk about what Tim doing in recreation. They recreating your whole image in them offices. I've been in them offices when they had some of the little meetings. Oh, we need to make him look like such and such. Okay. Cool. Podcast is y'all next. Who don't be talking about nothing of value. Y'all are next. But what do I know?
Well, I'll say this. They started the AI podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this. To play God's advocate, I can understand where an artist would be disappointed, right? Because auto-tune is a form of artificial intelligence, but it still requires a human being. It's an enhancement.
Okay.
Right? Like I still gotta lay the vocals, I still gotta write the song, so I can see, because a true artist, a true musician looks at his or her music as art.
Mm-hmm.
It's like painting it's like a painting, right? So when you just erase the human element to something that's been around for 4,000 years or longer, right? It's concerning, and it could be disappointing when somebody that you looked up to your whole entire life is the person that is potentially leading the charge in your extinction.
You know who didn't complain about this? Anybody who was fire. Samara Sin didn't complain. Doja didn't complain. Bieber
Well, they
didn't
on.
complain.
Well, they on already. What they on already though?
If
They
you're
on
up
already.
and coming, do better business. Like I said, a lot of y'all don't want to. I'll have the conversation. Like I'm still trying to convince artists that want to be signed to fucking invest in Spotify. Y'all got to do better business. The music industry does not care about y'all. I don't care who y'all go to. They do not care. They do not care. I'm sorry. TikTok, $600 for 1 million views. Twitter, $850 for 1 million views. YouTube, $5,000 for 1 million views. And you'll worry about Tim. The platforms have cross-collateralized and taken your likeness and put the shit. When you put up an ad on a creator platform, they'll tell you how to make your thumbnails and music sound like this person to get more traction. And you worry about Tim. They've been using AI on you forever. And who's to say the AI is even good? If you make some fire, it's gonna resonate. Big X the plug and Sauce Walk. I ain't seen Sauce Walker say one thing about this. Toby ain't said one thing. And I get where Guru's coming from, and I get the artist plight.
Guru the producer.
Yeah.
What do you say?
It's an abomination to music. Hov ain't complain about this. I'm sorry. Like, now who could have used AI was Lil Wayne. He for sure should have called Timbaland and you got that motherfucker artist to make some other elephant sounds in that music. Lil Weezy, I love you. Whoo, boy. But this wasn't it. This was not it. Sometimes you like, even when me, remember when Charlamagne was like, yo, he told Schultz, yo, AI out, it's over for Ian. Shout out to Schultz. He was like, no, human intuition. If you are good, you're not gonna have to worry about that. You're not gonna have to worry about that. Shout out to Schultz, shout out to Charlamagne. Love y'all. Black effect, white effect, all of it. Appreciate you. If you're good, you'll be able to cut through the noise. If you're good.
So let's do this. Let's talk about Wale and Kai Cenat.
Okay.
Should we show the clip of what happened, or should we show the clip of what after the fact when Wale went up to him and said like, "Yo,"
or both?
Okay, let's show both. Let's show both clips, shall we? Let's show the first clip. Let's show the first clip.
What up, Rusty? You good? What you playing on your Nintendo Switch? Smash. Smash Bros? I'll beat you. Come on, Alright, gang. Chad, does anybody have the Nintendo Switch? You're not even a Nintendo Switch type of nigga. Nah, me neither. I ain't gonna lie. But I heard it was like crazy though. I heard it was crazy, bro. Wale. Oh my God, that was somebody crazy. Hey, the whole chat knows him.
Wale.
Wale? What he do?
Rap.
Oh, word.
Lotus Flower Bomb is on or something.
Oh shit. Wale.
Okay, so that's the first clip where you actually see what happened. Wale obviously knows who Kai Cenat is. Everybody knows who Kai is. And yes, Kai wasn't as familiar with Wale. Now let's show the second clip.
That shit making me look crazy right now. I'm just letting you know.
What?
That's making me look crazy. The exchange that we had in the hallway is.
Oh, like, my bad, bro.
They running with it, but we'll talk later.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro. You came in here all blue.
Okay. Vintage Wale. If Wale is an extremely emotional person, but salute to Wale. Vintage Wale and vintage Snoop Dogg. Snoop was.
That'll tell you enough. That'll tell you enough. Like when certain people who are cool in front of the camera kind of break their cool, that's when you know you fucking up. But
yo, Snoop was like, well, let me see how this shit play out.
Snoop would have had it that different. Hey, nephew. Okay.
Nephew.
Holla at
But
you.
man, talk about making a bad situation first. First of all, shout out to Wale.
Yeah, for sure. DMV legend.
He's a legend. When it comes to fashion,
Fashion for
when
sure.
it comes to music, when it comes to just trendsetter. He's a trendsetter for sure. I the double down play makes it worse for me because it's like
That's ego.
Kai was kind of like brushing it, like the way Kai responded was like, "Oh yeah, okay, no, it's all good." Bro. He like, "Yo, bro, you got me looking crazy." I had like niggas know.
No, you got yourself looking crazy. And I like Wale. Shout out to Wale. But this is and this is good going into Invest Fest. Please write this down. The way you carry yourself is going to do a lot more good if you're thinking long term. The other part that people want to talk about, the behind the scenes, and Kai was just trying to get out of there. His chat does a good job of informing Kai when he doesn't know something. So on the next stream, Kai would have probably said, "Hey, Wale, my bad, I didn't know, but I'm familiar with the music." Wale, while trying to make a resurgence back and being independent now, you now have ruined a relationship and probably the biggest one in black media for the youth. It's a mistake.
But Kai, he's done this a few times though. Babyface. Do you think that Kai did that unnecessary? Because you don't have to say you don't know him. You don't have to say that. You know you're being recorded, right?
What if I
he's
know?
done this a few
What if I know
times.
you?
Baby, but why is that necessary to say?
If I don't know you,
there's people that come up to you all the time.
For sure.
That
Some of them
you
I don't
have
know.
conversations with that you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's part of it. That's part of it. It happens to me. It's embarrassing when somebody comes up to you, says, "Hey, Ian, thank you so much. It was a good time a year ago when we was at, and then it's like you have no idea who that person is." That's embarrassing. So my thing is, and I respect Kai to the fullest because he's a legend. He's a legend. But as he's growing, I just think that that's something that he might just have to be aware of his stature and what he means to culture, right? When he does something like that, it hurts. Like Wale said, it got me looking crazy, bro. Like it does hurt.
Okay. But you also 2 weeks ago just said some of y'all have delusions of grandeur and y'all think y'all more important than what you are. This is what you could do. Hey, bro, I fuck with you. And he could have just taken that. Yo, I appreciate it. Had a chance to run in the car. He wasn't familiar. Here's a little reminder. Because he has enough cachet with enough people where it's like 1 or 2 connections away. I just think the pressing at the award show, when the award show isn't always the most comfortable environment, that has you looking crazy. It's like when a chick turn you down and you start to be like, "Yo, fuck you, I ain't want you any." That's the professional version of that. He should have can't. Hey, bro, I'm sorry, my fans and my audience going crazy on you. I just want to introduce. Now you have a chance to build a relationship. Kai is never gonna fuck with Wale after this.
Well, you bring up a good point. Even what I do sometimes, a lot of times, is I don't take it for granted people know who I am.
Yep, me neither.
So I'll introduce myself. I'm like, "Yo, what's up, bro? Rashad, from Earn Your Leisure. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the platform." And then they be like, "No, of course I'm familiar," but I don't take that for granted. But then sometimes they might not know, right?
They don't know.
I don't take it for granted that every single person in the world knows who I am. So I'm not too prideful to give background info. If it's somebody that somebody that I fuck with, like, I'm saying, like, "Yo, bro, I'm a fan of your shit." Like, I'm saying, we got a platform called Earn Your Leisure. We talk about financial literacy. Oh, word? Oh yeah, and I watch the shit. Okay, cool. Yeah. Or, oh, word, that's dope. I'm gonna check it out. I don't like, I'm saying, I don't if they don't know. For instance, Rock Nation brunch, right? We told Jay-Z story, but I'm gonna tell 2 stories that's not Jay-Z related, but 2 of his best friends. So first person that we run into is the first person. I'm trying to get the chronological order. The first person that we run into is it wasn't Juan. The first person that we ran into was Emery.
Okay.
So we ran into Emery. So everybody knows Emery. Emery's one of Jay's best friends. I'm sure you probably know the story, legendary. So we ran into Emery and didn't take it for granted that Emery knew who we were. So, he was on the side. We was on the side. Like, yo, what's up, bro? Respect what you got going on, man. Earn your leash. He's like, yo, bro, like, come on, I'm tapped in. I watch y'all. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, y'all teaching people how to fish. That's the most respectful thing that you can do. Like, he gave a whole 5-minute thing of how he tapped in. I'm like, oh, that's dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't taking for granted that he knew who we were, but he did know who we were. So I was appreciative. Then a little bit later, we ran into Juan, right? So once again, kind of introduced, like, yo, what's up? Earn your leisure. And he wasn't familiar. But we still introduced ourselves, still did the same thing, right? Bottom line is that these are two people that have a lot of similarity. I'm sure that they talk a lot. Tata. But I did run into Juan also.
Okay, got you.
But these are people that have similarities, right? They are friends. They themselves are friends, right? And they obviously have a very close mutual friend, which everybody knows is Jay-Z. But they have different algorithms.
Yep.
Right. So even though, like, there's people that I know that you might not know. There's people that you know that I don't know. Like, I'm saying, just because I know somebody
doesn't mean
that you know them, or vice versa, right? So I think that that's something that we really gotta figure out as far as a culture. Is just like, put your ego aside. It's okay if somebody doesn't know who you are, and just take it in stride. But yeah, coming back on the comeback
and trying to press,
because now you look even more crazier.
For sure. And it's a great lesson. All the greats, they're going to introduce themselves. Like, it's something that I've noticed. Robert Smith, Charlemagne, Kamala Harris, Drake, The Rock. These motherfuckers are superstars. Yo, welcome to the Houston party. Yo, I'm Drake, dog. Familiar. Shout out to guys. Nigga, I know who you. What? You don't gotta introduce yourself. What are we doing? Kyrie. Why are you introducing yourself, bro? I bought your shoes. I know who you are. Like, what? But to have the ego and to come to college, like you big you. Yo, you making me look. And this is part of the perception reason. And I like Wale, of why people don't like Wale. Kai's 23, bro. No Hands came out in 07 or whenever. Like, what are we doing, man? Come on, have some grace. You can't. And also, it's another lesson, and I've applied it. If people don't know you when you walk into a room, get so lit that everybody in the room know you when you walk in. That's the other part that you have to remember. Even seeing awards, I'm saying Kevin Hart, man. Kevin Hart. Hey, I'm Kevin Hart. Bro, what are you doing? Kevin Hart killed it last night. Jamie Foxx killed it on stage. I'm like, there's still levels to go up to. Have grace, yo. Because the humility will take you a lot further than the fake press on the live stream. But what do I know? I don't know nothing.
Press on the live stream.
That's crazy. You think you're gonna get a collab after you try to press him?
Oh man.
Playboy Max, Drewski. Now you have to look at this too. When you offend a person in a circle, you're not just offending them. It's 15 other people associated who are never going to do anything with you. It's crazy.
No, you're right. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So,
all right. Where do we go from here? What else do we need to talk about?
This health epidemic with blood clots and strokes. Can we play this clip?
Please, let's play this.
In the last 5 years, I've never treated as many blood clots in my entire multiple decades of in clinical practice as a cardiologist. The blood clots occur after the infection with the virus and the vaccine because the spike protein causes blood clots. It's without any controversy in medicine. The spike protein causes blood clots. So it is reckless and foolhardy to continue to vaccinate people and load the body with spike protein and cause more blood clots.
There were other.
Listen, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. I'm going to keep the channel and show and partnership going. But I wonder, for all my virologists, what was the linchpin that changed the health trajectory of most Americans in the last 10 or 15 years. There's a lot of epidemics that are going on at one time that are not being talked about. And people that are young, let alone like even just seeing Clark Kent pass, Fat Man Scoop, God rest your soul. Like to be 50 and 52 and passing away at such a high rate, but now the 25 to 31-year-old age is starting to become targeted almost to a certain degree. I just think it's fascinating. I think we just need to have some more of these conversations about what you can do to make your health better and prevent some of these illnesses from happening.
It's in the food. And the crazy thing about it is, speaking about China, so we went to lunch today, and I was talking to, once again, the Chinese girl. She's all right, so she's from China. She's never been to America. So I'm talking, it's a group of us. So I'm asking about Chinese food because I'm like, I want to compare the Chinese food that we eat in America to the Chinese food in China. So there's a girl from America. Shout out to her. Her name is Blair, black girl from Detroit that moved out here. That she's like helping me on the ground, doing everything. So she was telling me like, yo, it's different. So I'm like, what you mean? I'm like, all right, look, let's do this. So I'm talking to Blair, the girl from America, and then the Chinese girl. So I'm like if I wanted to compare, I don't eat chicken, but I'm just saying like I used to. So if I'm like, if I wanted to compare General Tso's chicken, when I used to eat chicken, that used to be my favorite thing, General Tso's chicken. And she looked at me, she was like,
what is that?
Who's General Tso's? Who is that? Who do you speak of? Like I had no idea what I was talking about. So I'm like, all right, like shrimp lo mein.
Fake news.
I'm like beef and broccoli. Chicken and broccoli. None of these scallion pancakes. None of these things that I was talking about. She act like I was talking no idea what I was talking about at all. And then we went to the restaurant and they giving us the steamed vegetables and the pan seared fish. And I'm like, oh, they made up a derivative.
For sure. The options on the food. And for all these like hood Chinese shops, the shape of the meat isn't that of the animal. Like even in New York, right? Shout out to Will Smith, I Am Legend. I don't see no dogs running around just casually in New York. They'll be all over Tribeca everywhere. What? Chicago too. What chicken looks like that?
That's a fact, bro. And that was just the eye-opening experience. I was like an aha moment where I realized, like, yo, the food that we get in America is really the worst food.
For sure.
Like everything, like GMOs, the fruit, even other people's native food, they're bending their food to what they think that we would like.
Yes, absolutely. And it's a lot of lobbying power in that. That's above my pay grade, so I'm gonna stay clear. Shelly, my mom, I hear you, but it's a lot of disaster there in our food. Like if we talk about cancer increases, diabetes, pre-diabetic children, endometriosis, like at every point of life, you're being poisoned. And you really see it when you go to other countries because they won't even allow you to bring certain foods. Even in Japan, they won't let you bring our over-the-counter medicines into Japan. Think about that. It's interesting. So for all you Addy addicts, if you go to Tokyo, you can't bring 72 Adderall pills with you so you can live stream for 2 days straight. It's crazy, man. It is absolutely crazy. So
yeah, we definitely gotta be more vigilant in the food that we eat in America because I think that's playing a major part. And
even if you try to eat healthy, it's the pesticides and all the stuff on it. Like even when I go to Mexico, like the serving sizes are like the food that we get in Texas are family style meals for one person. It's like there's no tacos this big, bro. What is that? Come on. But what can you do but inform?
That's it. That's it. That's it.
Speaking of international arbitrage, what do you think of Tiffany Haddish saying that she's not dating any more black men in America? Men have said it. Men have said it.
No, it's a fact. We've hung out with Tiffany before. She's an interesting person.
Shout Tiffany.
Hey, that's all right. You know what I mean? Like, you know, everybody got their own preference. Everybody got their right. Everybody's, you know, got their own reasoning.
Okay.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on it?
My thought is when is Blackout After Dark starting. Shout out to Tiffany. Everyone has a right to do what they want to do. I do think there is a moral decay in America, though, that is probably tainted men and women to a large degree. So if she chooses to date outside of the country, I don't have no issue with that. But for the men who were upset for whatever reason, sometimes people just be saying shit. Not saying her, but sometimes, like, you know, women that get mad, like, why ain't fucking with you no more? They mean that shit for like 2 weeks. So, you can't get too upset.
She's also, I think she's half Eritrean, I think. So she has international exposure anyway. So I don't know what her motives are. Like, I don't know whether she got scorned, whether, you know, she just fed up with something that she had dealt with, or whether it's cultural. I have no idea. But like I said, I mean, everybody's entitled to their
to do what they want to do.
To do what they want to do.
Yep.
But when the shoes is on the other foot, don't criticize.
Okay. Import export.
Right. You can't be mad. Like you can't have your cake and eat it too.
That's what cake is made for. I hate that quote. That's what cake is made for. Yes, it can. If you're a baker, that's
you
what
can't
it
be
is.
mad. If a man says that now, that they're not dating any American woman, you gotta respect it and say, okay, well, that's their personal preference.
Yeah. Always two sides to a coin in a story. So some things you don't gotta say out loud.
And I just don't think that it's necessary to say it publicly. You can do whatever you want, but why would you say that? You know you're going. But once again, it goes back to creating viral. It goes back to creating viral moments. You know that's polarizing. So because you could just live your life and date whoever you want to date. Why do you need to make a public service announcement to say I'm never dating American men again? Right? To me,
do you think the dating pool is as bad as everyone makes it out to be? Because a lot of the shit I be hearing, I'm like, I don't like. Y'all must be on another side of town. Shit's really not that bad.
No, I don't think so. I think it's a lot of good people out here. I think it's a lot of good women. I think there's a lot of good men too.
Yeah.
Now, what you choose is up to you.
See, and that's the conversation we got to have. A lot of y'all be choosing filth and trying to turn it into magic. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Even some of y'all who's mad at some of my commentary, I'm like, if it don't apply to you, let it go. Why? What I think matter in your household? These are my rules for me. So if I want a 1-to-3 ratio, what about you? It should be 1-to-10 if we're gonna be honest, but I have to be conservative in approach. So yeah. But interesting times. But that saying things to go viral and for monetary purposes is happening a lot for sure. Most of the things that are said on some of these broadcasts are gross exaggerations of how that person really feels.
Yeah. So Michael Jordan, we didn't talk about this in detail. They said that it was rumored that he got 40 million. They said that that's false. The 40 million thing is false. Meaning he could potentially even be getting more. But why is Michael Jordan going to broadcasting? Somebody that's never spoken, right? And he's not going to be like every single game, but it's just surprising. Michael Jordan is somebody that has always been an extremely reclusive person. He's never spoken publicly. He's always stayed out of. This is interesting. Why is he doing
a couple thoughts. That competitive drive that he hasn't gone away. So you need an outlet. And let's be real. Like if you sit in the house with your bae all day, You're gonna want to get out the house. That's just point number one. Point number two, NBC needs him. The game, as amazing as it is, I think you need a polarizing figure. And if you don't think NBC hasn't looked at that Stephen A. Skip Bayless model and they're trying to make their version of that for broadcast, they need someone who has enough cachet to pull in the audience. It's not talked about enough of what some of these people are worth. I heard Stephen A. said he bring in 2 billion views per year for ESPN. Going back to Timbaland's AI or AI Marv Albert cannot replace that on ESPN. Have the value so high that you're almost irreplaceable. And then number three, when you're putting all that money into licensing the NBA, it's gonna, same with the BET Awards, bringing back the 106 in Park tribute. It's gonna have some nostalgia for us who grew up watching Jordan. It didn't work out for Tom Brady because I don't think Tom Brady maybe is direct, but I think Michael is going to be offensive enough or direct enough to draw some viewership. The other part is too, for me as an entrepreneur, I'm like, if Mike going to work, I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie. Him, like Brady going to work, Michael going to work, to me is a sign of a recession indicator. When I'm seeing people that are starting to work who don't have to, it definitely catches my eye as to what's going on. I told y'all a couple years, Kyrie renewed his contract, He's like, yeah, I'm worried. When Kyrie was financially worried, I said, oh, shit, let me put my foot on the gas. If Mike want to go pick up 50 a year to go broadcast every other game, there's something coming that we don't know. When all these artists are set on that catalog, it's interesting. But why do you think he's coming back or coming to broadcast?
I don't know. I really don't know. Some might say that he wants to have a voice, and you know, in sports, as far as like, you know, there's always these debates who's best. Like now, he can have a voice in this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some may say that he just wants to stay connected to the game. So I'm assuming he's busy, right? I'm assuming that he's busy as far as work is concerned. Mm-hmm. It's not like he's retired.
Many things can be true at the same time. But the legacy part that you speak of having a voice and even the timing of The Last Dance being released, I'll never say it, but it's interesting for sure.
Because a lot of people take, all right, they're like, all right, yo, there's a reason why all these guys are starting podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron and all of these players, right? Because media is important. And when you can shape your own media, now this isn't that as far as like Jordan doesn't have like a podcast per se, but he's going to be able to talk and he's going to be able to, you know, shape his narrative and talk about players that he wants to elevate, talk about players that he thinks is not good enough.
Wants to demote.
So there's value in having a platform. Let's just say that there's value in having a platform.
Yeah.
And I think
that
he'll
do a great job.
Huh?
Do you think he'll do a great job?
He's Jordan. You know, he only going to do it if he can do it at the highest level possible.
Okay.
He's not going to embarrass himself.
Yeah.
I think he's going to, and of course, obviously, it's just interesting because I never really heard him speak long form. Like I've heard him speak in a documentary, and you know, short.
But he did great in The Last Dance. If they segment it right, I don't think he's going to broadcast at the table, but I wonder if they're going to do like sidebar vignettes like how Ahmad Rashad used to do with him. Because in that Last Dance, he killed it. I don't know if he's broadcasting a game 28 or 40 games a year, if that's going to work out, but I wonder how they're going to use it. Well, how would you use them? If Mike came to you at Invest Fest and said, hey, man, I want to do some sports related with y'all, how would you best utilize Mike?
Like you said, spot. I think he's you put him in spots, right? And special correspondent. He doesn't do like, he's not going to do like a Tony Romo where he's doing like the whole entire game.
Yeah.
Right. But I think it's halftime. Or like even in game, like different cut to different segments, special, like, okay, what Jordan's corner, what are we seeing? Like, what do you actually see here? Like, you know, fourth quarter, like, what would you do? Who would you give the ball to? I want to hear Michael Jordan's perspective on that. I'm interested,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's how I would use him. I wouldn't overexpose him. I don't think you can't overexpose somebody like Michael Jordan.
And one point we're leaving out with inside the NBA going to ESPN and then potentially dropping the ball on their production. If I was NBC, woo, let me go get Mike. If this worked with Chuck, shout to Chuck and Shaq, Mike, and if they pair two more good people, because if that experiment at ESPN does not go well, it's going to be terrible. So it's a triage play, like how AMD had to lead for a little bit on NVIDIA, and then NVIDIA took the ball and ran with it. So I think it'll be interesting depending on how they pair it. But I'm excited to see what he's going to do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Monitor the situation.
Yeah. When we starting Blackout After Dark, maybe we got to call ins on there because some of y'all are going through it. It's a lot of y'all who went through the same situation Ace went through. And some of y'all bold enough to put into the comments, y'all not real men if you're not willing to provide for at least 12 months after the breakup while you cheating. I'm okay. I'll be artificial. Cool. I'm with giving a little landing package to make sure she's not on the street.
I'm all for if I'm with somebody and I'm rocking with them and I'm like, you know what? I just wake up one day and it's not in my spirit to continue this relationship. She did nothing wrong. I'm not going to just throw somebody out in the street, right? Like I'm gonna try to have a soft landing for the person because it's right. It's the right thing to do, or even if it's mutually beneficial. Mm-hmm. If we're together, and it just ends mutually. Now, what I draw the line at is if you break up with me.
Oh, and then you still need a golden parachute.
Why am I giving you a golden parachute if you quit?
Yeah.
You don't get severance packages if you quit. This is corporate. This is a corporate rule. You know that. You get the severance package if you get laid off. You don't get a severance package if you quit.
If you quit or if you fucking up, oh my God. Fraternizing on company time. Gotta go. And that's how I can tell a lot of y'all don't have like friends or family or even advisors. Because if you are working with a CPA, like it's a certain amount of money, they're going to call you like, why is this going out here? For what? Your advisor is going to ask you, why are you spending $27,000 every 2 months on maintenance and upkeep on liabilities? For what? What are you doing? What? How many cows you got to buy in China?
That's part of my investigative journalism for the week.
Why go?
Find out. I gotta go to the provinces.
Got you. Why go for the cases? Man with the gold make the rules, yo.
That's the life's golden rule.
The life's golden rule.
Makes
just be fair in how you gonna play. Just gonna be fair in how you gonna play. Some of y'all need to quit passing up on amazing people. Some of y'all be fumbling shit. Fellas too. I'd be careful, yo. And don't do anything you're not willing to get done back to you. Because when he was telling that story last week, I'm like, damn, you didn't cheat back? That's leaving on Christmas is great. Shout to Ace. Just boy. I would have had a surprise. Right in the Christmas tree. Came back. What? Two of them. What? What? What do I know? Apple. I hate to belabor this point. Steve Jobs is rolling over in his grave at this iOS update and this WWDC AI announcement. Tim Cook, you off the hook for now because Elon took the lead of CEOs who need to be replaced. But telling us to wait till next year is crazy. It's crazy.
Wait till next year for what?
For what they're gonna do with AI and the integration in the Siri.
Oh,
the little Anthropic fake partnership ain't gonna cut it.
They're not ready. You know that. They're not ready. When you're not ready,
all that let everybody else innovate and we're gonna follow up and no. That era over with. It's like playing from behind all the time. Like you can do it sometimes and come back and win like Indiana did in game 1. You can't do that year after year, decade after decade. You got to innovate at some point. So, yeah. Going back to the list of speakers at InvestFest, is there anybody else that you think is going to be like a surprise? Because a lot of people were impressed with Paul, didn't know how smart he was. Who else do you think at InvestFest will be absolutely amazing that you are looking forward to see, speak, or learn from?
Well, people that a lot of people may not be familiar with. Let's say that Dean Forbes. When we remember when we went to London, we interviewed him for Market Monday's World Tour.
Incredible.
Man, the guy is
one of the smartest people on earth.
CEO in Europe, like hundreds of $1 million acquisitions, like.
Yep.
And so people are not familiar with him, because he's like a business CEO, and then also because he's from London. Very interested to hear what he got to say, because he's one of the ones that, I mean, you got people like Dion Graham. Shout out to Dion. Dion's my guy. Dion pretty much, when you look at Revolt, a lot of people, look at like the forward facing leadership of Revolt. And shout out to all of them. But Dion is the guy behind the scenes. And
making the magic happen.
He's very, very smart, and been able to navigate even through this whole, situation with Diddy and all that, like how they've been able to pivot, and they're staying afloat. So he's somebody that I speak to like personally, and he's a smart guy, real smart, intelligent person for sure. So I'm definitely interested to hear, what he got to say for sure.
Yeah.
Man, there's this girl, lady, Sanaya Bowen.
Okay.
She's a futurist AI. We met her at Carnegie Hall.
Got you.
Super smart.
What's her name?
Sanai Bovell.
Oh, yeah.
You see,
she's different tier of it. Yeah, for sure. I'm telling y'all, certain ones you can't miss. That's one of them. Oh, no, you can't miss.
Yeah, super next level.
I don't care if she on at 6:30 a.m. Make that one.
Intelligent. Make that one. Oh, this is probably just breaking news. NIL. We've been talking about NIL a lot, right? So people don't know. Everybody knows who Kenny Smith is, right? But his son, Kenny Smith Jr., is the one that's been orchestrating a lot of these NIL deals.
For sure.
BYU, player from BYU, like he's the one that actually orchestrated the NIL deals. Like he's done tens of millions of dollars in NIL deals in the last 3 years. He'll be speaking at InvestFest on the NIL panel. So, and he actually just texted me yesterday because we posted, now colleges can start to pay $20 million a year to athletes. Yeah. And he was saying that this is actually a step backwards because what it's going to do now is put more scrutiny on NIL money. And now it's like if you get anything over $600 in NIL deals, they got to be reported. And so his thought process was that it looks like this is a win for athletes, but it's actually a step backwards for athletes because it's going to be more regulation on the NIL money, which was a lot more than the 20 million that a college can divvy up between the whole entire sports program. So
that's interesting.
NIL is something I've been very interested in for a while. So I'm definitely interested to hear him speak. So these are just people that, like I said, might not be quote unquote celebrities,
but they're intellectual powerhouses.
Exactly. Just come to the top of my mind, and it's like, oh nah. Yeah. I personally got to watch what he got to say about this, or she got to say about this for sure.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be good. I mean,
what about you? Who do you look
for? Nikki Saunders, always.
Shout out to
Fire
Nikki.
information, ahead of the curve, super talented, great person, but just like practitioner, like she's in the field. Terrence J, always in how he presents himself, host, intellectual acumen. You killed at the BET Awards too, my boy. I see you.
That's a fact. CBS Morning posted them. Shout out to Terrence,
you cooking. Like you said, Dean Forbes, I think is hella underrated. Probably one of the brightest people in the world, and once again, a good person. And all of these people that we're mentioning have practical advice, because I'm gonna let y'all stop running with that narrative. Like, they're going to give you things to walk away with when they're done speaking that you can go implement in your business. And when you take your notes this year, upload them to ChatGPT and tell them to make you a plan for execution for your business. So Twee, shout out, so I'm excited.
Legend.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, that's a fact. Before we leave, let's do this. What is one thing? What's one luxury that you cannot live without? Like, what's one luxury that you can't live without? Not necessity, luxury.
That's a great question. Should not answer an email.
Well, I'll say this. I'll give you some time, because
being able to sleep in until I'm fully rested.
Okay, it recently happened to me, and I realized this is first world problems, and I realized how pampered I am, but it's a necessity. I lost hot water, and I had to take a cold shower, and it was one of the worst experiences of the last 10 years for me.
No,
to the point.
What is
that cold shower fucking
different, boy. You shower fast. Listen, when we had the hurricane and the power was out for like 7 days. I was in like Walking Dead, boy. But it's actually healthy for you. It's actually healthy for you.
I know. Shout out to Ashton, dumping your head in the ice water and all that. But man,
it's tough.
It happened. So it happened one day, and I had to like struggle. I just took it was bad. Yeah. Then the next day it was still cold. I'm like, I'm not doing this. So what I did was I have a pot.
Flew to China.
That's a fact. I boiled, damn near boiled water.
Oh, old
not
school.
boiled.
Yeah.
I heated up water in a pot, and I used that. I put a cup, and I just did it with the thing, because I'm not taking cold showers, bro. I realized if I had to take a cold shower for the rest of my life, I don't know what I do. I don't know what I would do. I'll be honest with you, bro. I don't know how I'll be able to.
You're not on your David Goggins and suffer throughs, ice bath, all that. You couldn't do it. Okay, but you can do a pool, right?
I'm not a pool person, bro. I like hot tubs. I gotta be warm.
Okay.
I gotta be warm. Like, you never realize, and like I said, I know this is bad because there's people that's struggling. There's people I know. That's why I preference this by saying luxury. But I'm just saying, I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah.
I never realized how I needed hot water until I didn't have it. I need hot showers. Like, if I don't have a hot shower, man, it's a pretty miserable situation.
That's tough. Okay, that's a good one though. Trust me. Well, when that hot water came back on after that power went out last year, I was like, thank the Lord for light. And okay, could you live without light for a year, or no hot water for a year? Which one would be easier?
Light. I'll do candles. I'll do the candle play. I'll do the candle. Even AC, I could live without. Look, it'll be miserable, but I could sleep in hot quarters. I could sleep with the window open. I'll do all of that. I'll do no microwave. I'll do everything, but just leave the water. Don't take away the hot water.
Got you. Okay. Right. Tune in next week. You're gonna find out how many cows for China, just like the currency market.
That's a fact. I know they're gonna clip that. They're gonna clip that up. Oh, with all that's going on in the world right now, your top priority is hot water.
Yeah, I'm staying on it. That's what he said. He said a luxury.
Luxury.
He didn't get too. I thought you was gonna go real bougie. No Cartier shades or something like that. You kept it. You kept it within reason. Yeah, you kept it within reason.
That's a reasonable luxury. That's a reasonable luxury.
Sure. Y'all put in chat, what's a luxury you cannot live without? Question of the day. I'm excited for Invest Fest, I can't lie. Charlemagne, MG, Simba, my son, Shaka Bars,
son.
Chris Johnson.
Oh,
Steve Harvey.
anytime I get to hear Ryan Leslie speak,
For
that's
sure.
a treat. So anytime I get to hear Ryan Leslie speak, that's a treat. So I'm looking forward to that.
Mhm.
That's going to be one of the ones.
Yeah. And let us know who y'all want to see at Blackout live this year in Atlanta.
And Ian will be doing a triple header. Blackout, Market Mondays, solo.
Wale, you got to introduce to more people. Everybody that don't know me, hey, I'm Ian. I ain't know. See, hey, what's the guy who got the mantras in the band? See, I ain't gonna be like, well, you don't know me, yo. No, I mean, do better, motherfucker. I need a band and I need some pyro, fall off the sky. Come on now.
Oh man,
work till you don't have to introduce yourself, and even when you get to that point, you're still going to introduce yourself. All the best in the world. Do it. Kathy Woods, Mike Novak. I'm like, why are you introducing yourself to me? What?
And at some point in time, we got a real conversation with this art situation because some of y'all just taking this shit too far. Look, I'm not paying $87,000 for. Look, I respect it. I respect the art.
I don't. I dump it on Basquiat grave before I do that. Y'all and stop taxing because y'all know some people have like $8 in their checking account. I will just put it on Basquiat's grave first. Shit crazy. I mean, cut you off. This shit triggering though. Everything like even come on. Even Yummy was like, yo, people going too crazy with some of these requests and invoices that I'm seeing. For what? It's a painting this big for $92,000. Well, it'll appreciate, and then you can have the weight off. I want return. I don't want no like the write-off. Cool. Get me a return first. I'll give me a real ski. You know what I mean? I want to keep it black, but give me some shit I can get 5 or 15 that's on. Yo, I got a paint a Xander for you for $126,000. I see my kid all the time. He don't even like it. What?
Oh man.
Sorry.
Okay.
Troy,
all right, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
it's been real.
I love the show.
That's my favorite. It's my favorite show
for sure.
It's my favorite show, man. We gotta get some live callers on here too.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta get back to that. Mm-hmm. Let us know what topics you want us to discuss. Let us know. Oh man, live caller aspect definitely.
Well, what you think of TMZ doing a documentary about who really killed Michael Jackson?
TMZ's doing a documentary about who killed Michael Jackson?
Yeah. Harvey, life's going well for you, my boy. You better wait.
They're trying to.
Harvey, life's going well. Wake it up. But life's going good for you, my boy. I commend you for putting it out there.
Who they actually
pin it on. Kudos to Catherine.
It could be a distraction. It could be, somebody that we know did not do it as a way.
Yeah.
To,
Yep. The misinformation play.
It
happens a lot. Last one. What you think of Cash Patel not telling who's on that list when he went on Rogan?
I honestly don't think that he knows. Cash Patel is probably the least most qualified person to ever hold the head of the FBI job, respectfully. Like, how are you saying that's above my pay grade? That's not something that I'm qualified to speak. That's literally your job. And why are you doing podcast interviews with Joe Rogan? Smoking weed. Joe Rogan smoking weed during a podcast. And, you're the head of the FBI, bro. What?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's getting wild. Yep.
Like,
interesting. Yeah. Yep. But once we get to certain organizations, unless it's involving crypto, shout out Langley. I don't have no conversation about it. I'm cool. It's interesting though. But that's an interesting point about him being the least qualified.
Allegedly,
yeah. I'm going to chat GPT, Anthropic, and see what they say.
Allegedly.
Mhm.
Trump.
85,000 for a closet. That's crazy. That's in Tribeca. What's that? Meat packing.
You would be surprised, man. These closets nowadays. You got the fingerprint safe.
Oh yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. Luxury market. And
LED,
some of them doors.
LED lights.
Yeah.
The hidden. I'm gonna post on IG the hidden. I saw one closet with the hidden places to hide money.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
And them safe rooms for some of them houses cost a house.
Yeah.
You see, man. I'm telling you, it's a lot. When y'all be like, oh, 10 grand for stock club, a lot. You get in return. It's a lot of stuff you can spend with chrome heart jeans. Some of them safe rooms cost $200,000-$300,000. Interesting.
Bunker. The bunker play.
Mm-hmm.
The bunker play. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been real. Stay tuned. I'll be chronicling my experiences in China this week.
As you should.
Get your tickets to InvestFest, ianinvest.com. If you're in Stock Club, you do have a discount code. Check Telegram. And we'll be back next week. Market Mondays. We'll be back with an episode.
Oh, I got a question I want to ask you, but I'm not going to do it. Go ahead. Blackout after dark. I'm sorry.
Blackout after dark. And pinch competition. Into the pinch competition. You've got a few weeks left. It ends June 30th. Paul Judge, myself, 2 Chainz, $125,000 to tech company. Go to investfest.com, fill out the tab, and enter to win.
Yeah. If you want to get rich from the market, go to ianinvest.com, join Stock Club. Prices are out. Presentation would be amazing. Triple header. Shout out to the team. Get my looks together, please. I need 3 outfits a day minimum, please. Got to introduce myself to some people.
At least.
Constant pull up to InvestFest.
Respectfully.
Barack Obama, President Obama, would love to see you there. Please. You got to ask for what you want in the world. Yeah. And Young Thug with it. Listen. Never mind.
With the mask.
I get the vision. I did a mask 3 years ago at InvestFest. I said, boy, you got he on a different time though. But yeah, never mind. Oh, we're gonna be in the line. Never mind. Thug, I see. He one of the ones. Some of y'all found out the hard way about 7-8 years ago, boy. Thug ain't nothing to play with. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been real.
Yeah, it's been a great one.